The best times to go to the stores are like in the early mornings when I had class at Marshalls and TJ Maxx. They stocked up new things like Wednesdays or Tuesday morning. I was taking advantage.
It's almost easier to send the beauty and makeup in FBM than it is FBA.
A lot of beauty items like fly. You can literally get 90 orders like that in a day. It's crazy how fast.
Yeah.
Gambé.
Gambé.
Welcome back to the DoughBois podcast. I'm your host, Logan, joined today by my lovely, studly co-host, Formosa McGill, flipping it with Cisco. Today, we are also joined by a special guest, Ecom Diana, otherwise known in the industry as Diana the Ulta Queen. Diana, thank you so much for joining us today. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, that would be great.
Yeah, thank you for having me today. So I'm Diana. Sell on Amazon. I've been doing it for like the past almost 2 years and I do it part-time. I think I'm on Logan's leads list. So I joined that in August of this past year. And that has helped me a lot in my growth. And I'm not just saying it because I'm on the podcast, but it's true, which I can talk about it later. But I'm really excited to be here.
Sweet. So I introduced you as the Ulta Queen. So we're going to start off talking about Ulta and just give us the rundown of all your points and everything.
Yeah, so I have 2 accounts now. In August, I was struggling because they kept like banning my account, like my orders, like they just kept canceling them. And so I opened another one and I started to take it easier on the sourcing. I feel like I would have had more points or money by now, but I do a lot of sourcing without my account sometimes. If it's like a really good and I'm just trying to get a whole bunch of it. I think I have like $2,500 in Ulta money with both of my accounts, which is absolutely crazy. I don't know how I got there. I swear I started off this as like, oh, okay, this is cool, $300. And then like fast forward 6 months later, I have like $2,500 and I do use it, which is crazy to me. I use it.
It sounds like it kind of avalanched into a much bigger thing than just $300.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be like that serious, to be honest. I was just like, this is cool. And at first, like, I was like, I'm not going to spend it. I'm just going to see how much I can, like, get. And then, like, it was coming to a point. I think there's, like, when I hit the max, but it's not really a max. It's weird how it works. I was in store. And I think it's 30,000 points. And I was at the register. And then it was so weird because the girl that was ringing me up got like a message on her screen. I had to get her manager to override. And I think it was kind of telling her like she's like over 30,000 points. But I don't know. Her manager just like came in and like did something and left. And I was like, I'm never going to shop in store again with this account. But yeah, it's crazy because I just don't know how I got here. I think my main account has like 35K.
That's crazy. That's a lot of makeup points. Yeah,
I mean, I use it a lot for inventory, and then time to time I'll get something for myself. But I don't know if you guys source some beauty. You guys know you guys get a lot of free stuff.
Yes.
And I have so much. It's absolutely crazy because I have like a big...
I got like samples right here.
Yeah.
Oh, see?
Oh, I know exactly what sample that is too.
You get so many.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think I know what that is too.
Hey, yo, chill.
I'm just gonna keep it low key.
It's for my wrinkles. Personal use.
Yeah, I know. I bought it too.
Well, I say take
skincare
advantage.
is self-care, okay?
Yeah, it's expensive too. So like these little samples, like it was so funny because I got like this perfume sample and I was like, oh, I'm gonna throw this away. And I looked it up and like the full size bottle was like $500. I kid you not. And I got a sample, which was probably like $50 to make. And I was like, I'm gonna keep this.
So I guess, okay, so you mentioned you've been selling for I think 2 or 3 years. How did it all start? Like okay, so it obviously avalanched to something huge now, but like where were the roots of it all?
Yeah, so I started, it was like by when TikTok was really popular in like late 2020. I saw this TikToker that was reselling from like Marshalls, and I was like, oh, this looks easy. I could do it. So I was like, whatever. It took me a while to get started on my account. I was in grad school. So that was tough because I was in grad school full time and then I was working part time, and I wanted to get this Amazon thing going, and I finally did it. Like I even like got an LLC in my state for a reseller's permit, and I had very little knowledge. Honestly, I just went off TikTok. Like I didn't even go into YouTube. I wasn't really on any social media, like networking. It was rough, but I got it started and I made my first sale like literally almost 2 years ago. And I was like, okay, this is not a scam. And I didn't buy a lot of inventory because I kind of was, it was so hard to believe. Like, I'm like, people could fake these numbers. Like, I don't know if this is legit. I'm going to lose like my money. Like, I'm in grad school. Like, keep that in mind. So once I saw my first sale, like, I think it was April 13th. 2021. Yeah, I was like, okay, this is legit. And I think the time after I saw that, I started sourcing like heavy, where I spent like $3,000. I didn't have any business cards at that time, so it was just like capital that I was like saving for this Amazon business, and I just kept doing it. But it was hard because like I wasn't networking, like I just didn't have a lot of resources, and it was just myself. So I feel like I did a lot of mistakes my first year, but you learn.
Yeah. So when you first started, were you doing retail or online arbitrage?
Yeah, it was mostly retail. I was going into stores whenever I could. I would sometimes it was like during COVID, so we would have Zoom classes, and I would literally have my phone on Zoom, and I'd be like sourcing like in class. I mean, the best times to go to the stores are like in the early mornings, and when I had class at Marshalls, and those stores like TJ Maxx, they stock up new things like Wednesdays or Tuesday mornings. So I was taking advantage.
Yeah, at least you went to your Zoom classes. I used to just skip.
No, I would go to them. We would be in groups. I would just be like, oh, my mic isn't working. Sorry. Like in the chat. But I'd be like at the store.
Yeah, and now that now post COVID, like most jobs now are like remote and whatnot, and so it's the same thing. Like I just log into the meeting on my phone and then go, and then if you have to like collaborate, my camera's not working. I'm not sure what's going on. They call on you, hop off. Internet connection was bad.
Yeah, that's the luxury.
Technology's great. Though. So I remember like back in the day, you used to be big into Legos. Were you always big into Ulta, or like were you big into Legos before and now Ulta, or how did that transition kind of go?
Yeah, so I was big into Legos, but I feel like there was too much like sellers on the listing. I wouldn't get them on a discount, and I didn't know how to repeat the charts, but I would give Legos a chance now, and I did in Q4. I actually made good money off like a certain type of sets this past Q4. So I feel like I will do in Q4. I mean, I think I started doing more beauty. Like I do more like 85% beauty, health and household, but it's because it's smaller and it's easier to like send in. I feel like I just learned that it was way easier. I mean, Legos don't have much return in general, but I think I just started to like sourcing in beauty. I mean, like I was getting like the free things. I was getting like, I don't know, like all those points. It was so easy. And at the time when I started sourcing a lot too at Ulta, I was doing a lot of FBM. So it's easier to send out a makeup product FBM versus like a huge Lego kit. Yeah, I think it was just a slow conversion.
I'd say it's almost easier to send beauty and makeup in FBM than it is FBA.
Yeah, I swear I would fill like a box that like of Ulta that would come in for like $500 profit, which in Legos like take me like a whole bunch of medium boxes from Home Depot to do that. Right. So it is easier, and I feel like that's why I like it, because I still do everything myself, which I know I need to like start
outsource everything.
Yeah, outsourcing. Yeah, I need to do that, but I'm like,
so you prep it yourself, the beauty.
Yeah. Yeah, I do that. I'm slowly converting into like FBA more. I think FBM is really good to build up like your cash flow, and then afterwards, like I kind of get tired of dealing with like customers if it's lost, or it sucks because you deal with the returns, and so there's been not some fun returns I've dealt with.
Yep.
But yeah, I think I know where I need to start for outsourcing though.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing the beauty FBA?
Yeah, I'd say probably like last summer. And now I do it a lot, like FBM and FBA. I feel like I always say I'm converting into FBA more, but I swear I had like 90 FBM orders on Sunday. And I said I was gonna like it's more FBA now, but it's not.
It's hard, you know, because like it's a transition from the lead time from FBM to FBA. Like with FBM, you're usually having the product and then shipping it out and getting paid out in 2 weeks. Versus FBA, you get the product, ship it to Amazon, wait a week or 2 or maybe even 3 for it to get checked in and then to start selling. And then another 2-3 weeks to get paid out. So it's very different.
Yeah, and a lot of beauty items like fly, so you can literally get 90 orders like that in a day. It's crazy how fast.
Yeah, it's crazy because I've been like testing new products and they're going out quick, and I'm like, I was gonna send some like buy more to send FBA, but now I gotta like buy like double to send like FBM and FBA if I want to slowly start converting. But yeah, it's hard. It's a process. I feel like I'm halfway there though, but. Yeah, I just want to take a little bit less time for like of me doing the FBM stuff. But Q4 is the time where I'll start it up heavy again. But right now, I just want to do everything FBA, honestly.
Yeah, as a warehouse manager for Logan, I felt like the beauty products on the FBA side were definitely more tedious, and we were a little bit more like, on the safety side of like packing ours, a little more protective, just because Amazon will damage your product.
Yeah, that's happened to me a lot.
Yeah. So that's annoying. But then I felt like it was slower. So I was curious if you were doing that yourself or if you had outsourced that.
It's also kind of nerve-wracking to send in beauty products FBA, honestly, because they're so small and so expensive.
Yeah.
Like you can send in a box that's like this big, and if that box gets lost, it's like $5,000 potentially. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like it's risky. Yeah, now that you say that, because obviously it happens to everyone where you lose, like Amazon loses your shipments, and like to send like a box like 4-figure value and to get it lost, you're like not good. I don't know what I do. That hasn't happened to me yet with beauty, but it has happened to me with shoes, which is the same thing.
Oh, shoes, man. You're like very time tedious, like packing.
But you know, beauty is less likely to get returned than shoes.
That's true.
You're right.
At least in my experience.
Oh, definitely.
There's a big difference. And you know, fun fact, the last 2 recessions that we've had here in the United States, beauty didn't get affected. Beauty sales either stayed the same or raised a little bit.
Yeah.
Beauty is one of those underrated.
But you gotta have
everyone needs to get rid of I gotta get rid of my wrinkles. Doesn't matter, you know. The recession is stressing me out. I gotta get rid of these wrinkles.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I think like even like, you know, there's a lot of scares of like going into like a recession. But I don't think it's gonna impact like the beauty on Amazon. I feel like being experienced as a female, they're gonna buy overpriced things if they really want it. If it's hard to find, they're gonna do it. Especially if you look at the Amazon customer demographics, I feel like they're not going to be impacted at all. Like when I sell things, I'm like, who is buying this for this much when I could just go get it at the store for like $50 less? Especially when they pay like next day shipping, and I charge like $40 for next day shipping. That's just freaking crazy.
Let's go.
Yeah, I do like $40 for next day, and then 2 day I do $25. Usually I pocket extra from even those prices, like $10. So
yeah,
people want to pass.
Yep, it's crazy. So I feel like I'm gonna do more beauty. I do want to start exploring like other categories though, just because like, you know, there's a lot of brands that are switching to premium, but I heard it's mostly the L'Oreal brands. I'm sure you guys are aware. But L'Oreal is a big company.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a long time, beauty was my favorite category and like was mainly what we were selling. But I started to shift out of it because we were getting a lot of restricted product policy violations. Have you had to deal with that?
Yeah, I did. My first one was in Q4, and one of them was, I think it was like the fraudulent one where they say it's like counterfeit, and then the second time, and then out of nowhere, like later on in like December, there was just like listings that were being closed because of like some pesticide or something banned, and I'm like, I try to fight them, but I feel like another seller was able to do it for us. So whoever that was, shout out to you because it got those like flags out of my account, and I was just trying, but my thing kept getting denied. Amazon kept wanting this. I'm like, you know what? I give up. Like, I'm just gonna leave these like violations on my account, but they eventually got taken away from someone.
And you know what? That's like an underrated beauty of Amazon. A lot of those stuff are like community bound. So if one person that was on the listing submits the proper like paperwork for it, it clears it up for everyone. But it depends like what you're being dinged for. But for the most part, it helps everyone out.
Yep.
At least I know that's how it worked with toys, with the whole like safety thing.
Oh yeah, I think I've gotten one of those too.
I have like 85 of those.
Yeah, it's not fun. Like, that's the one thing I don't like dealing with.
You're a big wig.
85? I think I have 88 to be exact. It's bad.
No, that's a lot. I think I got 2.
That's a lot.
I've just been doing this.
I literally have 0 right now. My sheet is clean. They're all cleared out.
Yeah, mine too.
How much beauty are you doing, Cisco?
I would say at its peak, I was doing like a third of my stuff for beauty. I would say household, and then
are you at your peak?
Actually, I have no beauty listing. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm at my peak weight. Yeah,
that's why you don't have any pain.
Cool. So, Diana, walk us through your sourcing strategies and just give us the rundown on how you find your product.
Just give us some tips. Give us some tips on sourcing.
Like if I was
beauty.
looking to become the Ulta Queen, how would I do
or just drop your best ASIN.
Yeah, you can drop your best ASIN.
We don't mind.
Yeah, for sure. So usually when I like source from like big retailers like Sephora and Ulta, I'm just really looking at popular brands. I'm a girl, so I know everything that people are raving for. Let me just start out with that. So it's a little easier to do like this product research. After Sephora or Ulta, I usually go to the brand websites because that's when like the promo codes come in handy, to be honest. I learned if you don't want a product to tank, you gotta like get a little deep with the discounts. And right now I found like a good amount of replenishables for beauty. So I'm literally buying these like every other day. And I say every other day because I don't want to get banned from that retailer. Or actually, this is off topic, but a couple of days ago, I've been like going hard on the Rakuten game. I don't know if you guys ever gotten an email saying that your account is like a little suspicious, like you're buying a lot. Have you guys ever heard this? Okay, well, I have. I don't know because I like in 1 week I was able to get like $400 cash back, but I just got one like yesterday, and they say they don't ban resellers though, so that's a good thing. But yeah, I usually just go to like the brands. I have my replenishables. I just look at, also too, something I look at is like sets. So pack of 2 really helps like on Ulta.com. It's just a little hint. But also I like sourcing on Walgreens. They have a lot of like manufacturer coupons you can clip on for beauty all the time. They have like Walgreens cash that you could also get, and then promo website discount. So Walgreens is a really big one for like drugstore makeup. But usually, a lot of it's just going to like these brands and just seeing what I can find. I mean, it takes time, and I think like in Q4 everything sells so easy. It's like you find something so quick, but right now it's like really it takes me time to find something, but when I find it I can at least sell it for like a month or 2. But I've had like a couple of replenishables since like January that I found, so that's kind of what I do. I have a lot of Ulta points too, because when there's certain times of the month or like time of the year where they do like 5 times, 10 times points. So I go pretty hard if I have any replenishables there. That's how I have a lot of Ulta points. Those extra times points days.
Nice.
But yeah.
So
And
yeah,
to touch
no
on that
Walgreens.
Rakuten thing that you mentioned, they don't block you for being a reseller, but they'll label you as a reseller. So then sometimes like it will say like you don't get cash back for like reselling activity or whatever. I know it's on there Nike and it's on there for Walmart. I can't think of any other ones that it's on there specifically for. But if
Really?
they suspect it's like resell activity, they'll label your account as a reseller and they won't give you cash back.
Got it.
Terms. It's
From
in
Walmart?
there. In your defense, Logan, unfortunately, you haven't been on Amazon for the past like 2 months or so.
This is true.
But it's on there now. So I don't know if it's like a new update. So whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Actually,
I don't
you know
know
what? You guys talk amongst yourself. I'll find it. I'll find the verbiage.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know like what brand I was buying from that I think probably flagged me from a reselling account. But yeah, they asked me to provide like my storefront name or just explain why I'm buying so much. And I'm like, I haven't responded back because I just got it yesterday, but I'm just
This is really interesting.
yeah, if I want to like give them my storefront name or
That
my
is
link,
really weird.
actually that's for a URL. Or just say like I don't know.
That might be a fake
problem.
email.
Yeah, that's really weird. I mean, I've gotten probably like over $5,000 in a quarter before, and they've never flagged me.
Really? It might be fake. I need to look at it more.
Yeah, I've never been flagged.
Yeah, but have you gotten that email?
Yeah,
Since you
it
know
might
a lot?
be. No, I've never gotten the email, but I've noticed it like when I go over like the exclusions because I usually go between Top Cashback, Rakuten, and I forgot the other one, Rebate Me, and then so I always just read the exclusions to see like what the best one is, and then I've seen that verbiage at your cashback. Walmart's cashback terms and exclusions. Orders deemed by Walmart to be for reselling purposes are excluded on Rakuten's website.
That's really interesting. Is that new?
Yes, sir. I mean, I noticed it maybe like a month or so ago, so it could very well be new.
Because they're pretty reseller friendly as long as you're not using Walmart Plus. They actually support it because they'll take your tax.
But it's in there. It's one of the exclusions.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's really interesting. Surprises
Yep.
me.
Yeah, well,
Yep.
that's something that happened to me recently. So I'm just trying to figure out how to navigate that. But I hope like my quarter one though doesn't get held back, like the funds. Because I know I did pretty good on that. So I'm just like, oh, well. I do have Top Cashback, but I just don't really use it. I'm going to start using it. Someone said to make another Rakuten account. So I don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah. Do you take your Rakuten as a like cash or Amex points?
I do cash, but I have been debating to like going to Amex points. I feel like that might help kind of.
Yeah, it could.
Look,
terms.
I've done Amex points for a while, probably about a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's a hack to it too, so you can get more cash back.
Yeah, so like if you
Logan
really
can
want to
explain.
cash, you can get the Charles Schwab Platinum card through Amex. And this card comes with a perk that lets you transfer Amex points into a Charles Schwab brokerage at a 1.1x multiple. So let's say Nike has a 10% back on Rakuten.
Mhm.
Take it as Amex points and then transfer it through that card, and it actually becomes 11%. So just boost your cash back by 10% if you do want cash back. But I really just like points so I can travel for free.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. But I didn't know about like that. So that's crazy. I think I'm going to have to get on that because I do know a lot about like credit card hacking and traveling. But I mean, like with Delta, I know a lot, but I didn't know about that. So I'm going to look into that.
Where do you find this stuff? Like, how do you find like a Charles Schwab card? And you're like, oh, it's extra
Research.
money.
Hey, Josh, we're not like you, Patrick, and live under a rock, okay? We're SpongeBob's
I
here.
knew it was going
okay?
there. Okay,
We're
Lego
just-
man.
we're in
Whatever you
the
say.
space.
This guy brings up Legos every single episode. I'm just waiting for it.
But why are you mad?
I'm a little bit surprised you didn't specifically bring up the Titanic Legos. It's specifically that one. It really butters his buns.
I brought that up on my live stream last night.
Did you really?
Did you? I wasn't there.
last thing I want to talk about is credit cards. You mentioned that just a minute ago. I'm curious first, do you know how many credit cards you have?
No, no, I don't know. I have a lot though, but I mostly use like the Delta ones right now because I'm trying to hit status with Delta. I'm sure like you guys see me post, and I get like a lot of miles for it, and so I travel for free, like you, Logan, with Delta. And so I'm trying to get status because there's a lot of good perks with that. But I do have I got the Chase business card earlier this year, which also is good. So that's like my first one that's not Amex, but I have like a lot of the Amex ones, not the Plum card.
Do you have the Delta one that's made out of the plane?
Yeah, it's like a different design that you could choose. Yeah, I have that one though.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
Do you have it?
Look over so we can see the numbers on the back.
All right, bet. Make sure I cover everything.
What's your credit limit?
All right,
so we know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
There
one's
you
nice.
go.
I have the purple one. So is that the business one or
Yes.
under your personal?
This one's personal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have the business.
But I think you could have
one.
gotten either way.
All right. Well, Diana, thank you very much for joining us today. The viewer, thanks for watching, and